This is the Sprinter Mom with Lashes On podcast.
Okay, so self-care. Self-care is one of the reasons that I said Sprinter Mom with Lashes On. A part of, actually a couple years ago, I think after having one of my sons and I was in a mom group, we had a little church plant, and one of my words for the year was Sara, because I remember that I was just always constantly giving, and there was nothing that I was really doing for myself. And I know if you have young kids, you can totally understand that. You're just day in, day out. A lot of you wake up really early to go work out. I think that's fabulous. I am a sleeper. I am not a morning person. I can if I have to be, but knowing that I just have diapers and certain things to wake up to, no. I would much rather hang out at night, chill, watching a TV show, and then sleep in as long as I possibly can. So one of the things that I was really aware of was that I wasn't doing something for myself. And so I started like counting hair days as days that were like my outing. Spending, doing something for myself, or getting my nails. I would get a gel manicure every now and then. And I would say that there are different times in your life where financially you're in a place to do great self-care. But I feel like, and if you look at me now, you would say, well, she probably is totally fine, like doing self-care and like getting things done or facials or whatnot. However, I would say there were many, many years that my self-care was Ryan watching the kids for 2 to 3 hours, depending on if I had to get back to nurse a baby, but 2-ish hours. I would drive to the Chandler Mall, and I would go into Barnes & Noble. I would get an iced coffee that was like, caramel frappuccino when calories didn't matter. And then I would grab the magazines from the magazine section, and I would sit and drink my coffee and read magazines for free. And that was my self-care. And so I think that you can take care of yourself on a very small budget. I also know for a lot of people, it was just like actually walking outside with headphones in your ears is self-care. And that's great. For me, it was usually being pampered. So as soon as I was able to afford it, and we did Dave Ramsey for a very long time and had envelopes of cash and were watching what we could do. And I think I had $50 a month I was allowed to spend on myself. So as long as there was an event coming up or a reason I had to save my money, I would take that $50 and I would spread it out and get a pedicure, or I would actually just buy myself an outfit and use that shopping as my self-care time and outing time. I love browsing Ross and Marshalls and TJ Maxx. I am like a TJ Maxx girl times 1,000, and I can spend hours in those stores. And the best thing is you just walk around and sometimes it's the same stuff, or then you find another TJ Maxx and they have the same stuff, but then randomly they have these new items and it's so fun and cool. And anyway, I'm off topic, but so self-care. So I really have enjoyed taking care of my body in a way that makes me feel pretty. And my husband would even tell you that when I was in my late 20s, early 30s, in the mom mess, I actually noticed that when I looked a mess, I kind of felt a mess too. And that's not to say that I like got myself up every day and did my hair or did makeup. I really didn't. But when I could, I really felt good about myself. And those were days that I think I really showed up as a mom and showed up as a wife. And when I feel pretty, I think it stands out to my husband, and then my husband compliments me. And it's like this like circle effect of like feeling good, but knowing he also likes the way I look. Which I think for a lot of people is kind of weird, but I just really like looking pretty for my husband, and I think that's okay. And I think he likes it too. I'm not like a slob kebab all the time. Sometimes I am. I am totally like the person who has the two, like my husband has 2 wives. He has the wife, with the crazy bun and the pajamas. And then he has the wife that goes out and drinks a little too much. So it's, there's 2 of us. But I would say my lashes started with that lash studio, and I would go and get them done, just the classics. It was really expensive, but at the beginning, if you were a new person, you could get like $50 off or something like that. Anyway, got the classics, and the the glue burned my eyes so bad that I could never cry or laugh too hard, because then I would start, oh my gosh, right now I'm going to start laughing hard. I would start to lose my eyesight. Oh, it's going to make me laugh. I'm so uncomfortable talking into a microphone. But I would start to lose my eyesight, and I would have to pull over on the side of the road driving if I was crying or laughing, which really doesn't go with the depression of a young mom. But anyway, I would get classic eyelashes, and every time I would cry or like have to close my eyes for a long period of time, Ryan's like, why are you doing this to yourself? And I'm like, but they're so pretty, and I love waking up and just having lashes. So I did that for probably like a couple months, and actually I found that they had, like, if you paid a little more, they had like the really professional girl do your lashes. She did them faster. We found volume, and oh man, I love the volume lashes. Oh my gosh. Okay, I really am going to have to edit this out because I should have a tissue in here, huh? Okay. So, I don't like fans on either. Oh well. So anyway, I took off the lashes after a while, and this is like years. I would go on and off of doing the lashes at the lash studio, and I took them off, and I ran into my cousin a couple years ago at a family reunion, and she told me she was an esthetician and she did a ton of work at this doctor's office, but she also did lashes on the side. And I was like, oh, I would love to have lashes, but they always like make my eyes burn. I just can't keep them on. I like rubbing my eyes and taking showers. And she was like, they're not supposed to burn, and you shouldn't lose all of your lashes when you get your lashes off. And I was like, okay. My cousin's name is Amy. And I was like, okay, Amy, I'll try your lashes. And sure enough, she did my lashes. And then she did them for, gosh, probably 2 years. And she would come to my house, or I would go to her studio. I love the volume lashes. And for me, it was such a treat. Like during the summer, I'll get them off because we're swimming and doing a bunch of stuff. However, getting my lashes done makes me at least feel like when I do wake up and look like a slob kebab and I have like my PJs on and I'm taking my kids to school, my eyes are open, my lashes are done. It looks like I have mascara. I don't. And I just, that's like my go-to. And Amy actually sadly moved away recently, which is not sad for her, because affording a house in Phoenix versus affording a house in, where is she? South Carolina. She has property. She has big home. She's going to raise kids. It's going to be beautiful. However, I had to find a new lash gal, and thank goodness I have some friends now. We all got on the lash train together, and now I go to a girl in South Phoenix. Her name's Daniela. She's awesome. Shout out to Daniela. And anyway, I will forever have these lashes. Amy, she worked at a medical doctor's office, and she was always talking about certain women and their skin and different things. And I asked her, what is it like with the 80-year-olds who walk in and really still continue to have good skin? And she said, Sara, all of those women are the women who did facials monthly, and they have the best results years later for their skin. And I'm like, okay, I need to get on that. I'm a little late in the game, but that's okay. But here I am, 39 years old. I've maybe had 3 facials in my life because I don't really like people touching me. I hate massages, hate them. But the facials, I was like, I need to just get myself there, because I know that my skin, and being an Arizona native, like I'm already in trouble. So here I am trying to do some self-care, trying to budget for it, at the same time raising a crap ton of kids. But I want to feel pretty, and I want to take care of myself. And I know my kids are leaving someday, and they're not married to me. My husband is married to me, and I want to be 75 years old with great skin and possibly a glam squad. That would be so cool. That would be so cool. So let me tell you why Sprinter Mom with Lashes On. Why Sprinter? I am not a runner. I actually hate running. Sprinter is a Mercedes-Benz. If you don't know, it's a Mercedes-Benz van. Most people have Sprinters as in like cargo vans. Like it'll be like, I don't know, shipping things or whatever it may be. Or I don't know. I feel like Tarek El Moussa might have a Sprinter van that drives them around and takes video. We'll get there one day. But I drive a Sprinter, and it's so funny because I always wanted, like, well, I'm not a car person. I'm a purse person, but I think hearing that someone has a Mercedes-Benz sounds really cool. But when I tell people I have a Mercedes-Benz, I actually don't even say that, because if you see my Sprinter, you don't think Mercedes. You think, oh, wine tour or lots of kids. And for us, it's lots of kids. So that is why I'm Sprinter Mom with Lashes On, because I drive a huge van. I will show you pictures. I drive a huge van. But you know what? It saves my life because it has bucket seats. So everyone has their own seat. We've got 2 baby chairs in the back, a 7-year-old in the middle of the back, and it has Wi-Fi that mostly works, and supposedly headphones, which they don't use, a TV, which we don't know how to use. But the comfort level for when we drive to Flagstaff as a family, or just actually I have to drive it to school daily. But the comfort level and the separation for all of the kids and their space really is almost it's a game changer for me, because I found that having a lot of kids, anywhere that we can add extra space to where they're either sitting or sleeping or standing, even if they can not be touching each other, that is fabulous, because the boys are hands-on all the time. But I feel like there's this piece to knowing that this is your spot. It doesn't change, and you don't have to touch someone or be touched if you don't want to. And that's where I just love the chance that we were able to get a Sprinter, because it was huge for taking in 5 kids in addition to the ones we already had at home.
Thanks for joining us today for the Sprinter Mom with Lashes On podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a review. We'll see you next week.